within a week or two. So only then we will see what exact requirements will be there for the nomination. But as far as skill assessment is concerned, as soon as you finish your study, straight away you get skill assessment for nursing. So next we go for community. In the end, we will take question answer also, but let's go to community services first and then.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. So next, the most prominent and promising and hot pathway for the health workers in Australia is communities worker, basically community workers pathway. So again, in community workers, we have diploma of community service. Okay, so I have tried to summarize a few accredited providers with ACWA, that's AQUA. AQUA is basically, again, assessing authority for community workers. And if you have graduated from the ACWA accredited providers, in that case, you don't need to have any work experience in that field for skill assessment. You can directly go on the skill assessment pathway straight away. So there are very few and very limited providers in that, because we can see that it's only in the one table. Very few listed here. For example, if I consider South Australia, because we are basically Adelaide based, so South Australia is having non-accredited providers. Though they have a few providers which I have listed, there are a lot other few providers who have this course, but they are not accredited with ACWA. So make sure whenever you are getting enrolled in Diploma of Community Service in the states which I have mentioned, that non-accredited providers, then you make sure you are aware that you have to maintain the 1 year or 2 years of work experience requirement relatively as per the requirements of ACWA. Okay, so that's about the Diploma of Community Services. This is the list for the Bachelors of Community Services and Human Services accredited providers with ACWA in South Australia. So basically, we have like Torrens University, Federation, Flinders, Southern Cross, Equals, and University of South Australia, who are having this program of Bachelors of Community Services or Human Services in Adelaide. So which means that if you are passing out with this qualification, you don't require any experience for skill assessment purpose. So why skill assessment is very much important? Why you guys might be thinking that why I'm talking, I'm emphasizing so much about skill assessment, because that is of step one and basically a very primary step for you to be eligible for skilled migrant. Okay, so that's the main thing which you require. So that's why you should be always aware that whatever you are studying in Australia, anywhere, in any provider from any from any state, you should make sure that you have to get the skill assessment in that occupation, related occupation. So now I'm just giving you some few points on skill assessment. So for for nursing, NMAC is a skill assessing body, and for a community worker, it's a ACWA, which I already mentioned. So what are the requirements for nursing? The requirements from the NMAC is that you should be having at least 7 each. Okay, now if you are looking for enrolled nurse skill assessment, that's EN, you should have a completion letter of diploma of nursing. If you're looking for the RN, that is registration nurse skill assessment, in that case, you should be having at least a bachelor's in nursing, not a master's in nursing. Community worker, you should have a qualification from accredited providers. If not, then you need to have 1 year of valid experience within Australia. And also you need to have a proficient English, which is again a 7 each. Talking about 7 each for community work, there are some waivers as well, which will be discussed by Rupinder Nafra later on once I finish this presentation. So skill assessment for a nursing pathway, we have already covered this, 7 each related occupation. APRA is the registering body. And with the APRA registration, you are eligible to go for the skill assessment pathway through ANIMAC. Now, migration requirements for health profession focusing in South Australia is something which I was telling that Rupinder will cover. Here, he will specifically tell you that which can be the outcome for the community worker, what can be the outcome for the nurses, and what waivers are available in Australia or for the applicants who are applying for skill assessment but are not meeting the requirements of 7 each. So I'm passing to you.
So for nursing, it is very straightforward. If you have done diploma of nursing, you become enrolled nurse. And if you have done bachelor of nursing, you become a registered nurse, or masters of nursing, still you become a registered nurse. Now with the community services, the options are a little bit vast here. So if you have done diploma or in community services, or bachelor's in community services, or bachelor in human services, or similar course, then you have few occupations available here. So we can go for welfare worker, we can go for a disability support officer, we can go for residential care officer, we can go for youth worker, and a few more occupations. The only thing we have to be mindful here is that if you are working as a aged care worker, support worker, or disability support worker, so this work experience may not be considered. So if you must be working as a support officer, care officer, or youth worker, or these occupations which we have mentioned. Aged care worker or disability workers, you may struggle to get skill assessment done in that case.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much. So here I am ending my presentation. I really hope you guys have got some information, some important information on Diploma of Nursing and Community Worker Pathway in Australia. So from hereafter, I will be going ahead with the questionnaire, like one-to-one questionnaire. So those who have of the any questions or anything, any sort of queries related to that, please raise the hand and I'll call one by one, and please unmute accordingly and go ahead with that. So on my screen, I can see first of all Jagdish Bisht. So Jagdish Bisht, please unmute yourself and go ahead with your question.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. I want to ask you about community service worker. If we do bachelor's degree in community service from Torrance University, like you said before, we don't need a experience to become a skill like a skill assessment. So, but just now, migration agent sir said we need a like working in a aged care or disability care doesn't count. We can't do our skill assessment. So, but we already study in Torrance. So, do we still need to work as a aged care and disability worker for this, or?
Okay. Hi, Jatish.
Yes, sir.
Jagdish, if you have studied in Torrance, so the course you are studying in Torrance is accredited with the AQUA.
Yeah.
So for skill assessment, you do not need any work experience. So when we talk about this PR pathway, there are steps. So first stage is skill assessment. For skill assessment, you do not need any work experience. Second stage to be state nomination. Now, state may ask you for work experience. Now, the state rules are still not, available, still on hold. But as per last year rules, if you are working for 1 year as aged care or any this type of work, you may be eligible for nomination. So it should not be a problem. But we still need to wait for another week or two for SA nomination to start. But for skill assessment, you are correct. You do not need any work experience.
So after skill assessed, if we work aged care worker, also we can do because last year it was fine, yeah.
Yes, that may work. but we have to wait for the exact rules because we don't know for how many months you need to work. So for that, we need to wait.
Oh, okay, sir. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Agarish, for
Thank
joining
you.
us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So next I have Manisha. Manisha, please unmute yourself. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. So yes, you can go ahead with your question.
So I have recently finished my bachelor's in community services from Melbourne. It's Stotts College. So I have done my course and now I have moved to South Australia because I don't think so that Victoria is giving any chance for direct PR for community services. So any suggestions that you want to give us? Because the thing is, I haven't done my skill assessment because due to the lockdown, they did our first placement as online and second in person. And now few of my friends had applied for skill assessment, but they are saying that they need the both placements in person. Equi saying that, and though they are the one who suggested college to just do the online. So what my college is suggesting us is that you need to work in your field for like quite 3 or 4 months so that you are able to just apply for skill assessments. So for Victoria, I don't have any hopes in regards with our course. So that's why I moved to South Australia. So someone told me if I worked in South Australia in my field, I think last week I got one job offer for therapeutic youth worker, which comes under youth worker. So I gonna join from next month. So someone told me that if I gonna work in that for 1 year in Adelaide, then I might eligible for direct PR. And if I work in the regional, which is South Australia, I might get a PR within 6 months.
Hi, Manisha. Yes, that's pretty much correct. So as far your skill assessment is concerned, if you're, if you have not done your placements or placements were online, in that case, that Aqua ask you for 3 months a placement again. So if you can't get placement, then yes, you have to work for 3 months. And if you work for 3 months, in that case, you can get your positive skill assessment done.
All
After
good.
that, yes, after that, if you move to South Australia, if you live particularly in Adelaide, I'm talking about the last year rules because new rules are still not, published yet.
Yeah.
But the rules are going to be pretty much same. We expecting this.
Yeah.
So as per last rules, if you are working in Adelaide city or surrounding areas for 1 year, you are eligible for
Okay.
at 491 or 190. But if you are living in outer regional areas of South Australia, most you may get invitation within 6 months.
All
After
good.
6 months, not within 6 months, after 6
After
months.
6 months. Yeah. And how about the Victoria?
Victoria rules are just out a few days back, and I think they are expecting people who are working in their field for around 1 year. They will prioritize the people who are working. You have to, if you are working there, you have to give your last year tax returns and 1 year, payments structure, whatever you're earning, and they are giving preference to that. So we have team in Melbourne office. I think they are better to give you, information regarding Victoria. But this is what I understand from Victoria, that people who are working there in their field and who are earning, a little bit on higher side, they will be prioritized.
All good.
Thank you, Nisha.
Okay, thank you so much, Manisha. And if you have any doubts for skill assessment or anything, you can always visit our office, which we are located at level 428 Granville Street in Adelaide. If you are in Adelaide, if you all, I exist for all of you, if you guys are in Adelaide, do make sure that you visit us if you have any queries for PR or migration. So the next is Hira Arif. Please unmute yourself and go ahead with your question. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yes, Hira, you can go ahead with your.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, as I'm graduating next month from Diploma of Nursing from a Diploma of Community Services from non-accredited college. I wanted to know, for the Diploma of Nursing, is it important to have PD 65 each before enrolling, or can we get a conditional offer letter? And I have one more question. Just just to get an information and the chances of visa. Because I'm finishing with the non-accredited ACWA college. Is it risky to take admission in Diploma of Community Services with few exemptions in accredited college? Because my visa is also expiring in November. What would you advise? Previously, I had done MBA and MPA, but I was thinking to have a diploma of nursing. But I need to get admission, next month, and I'm preparing for PTE, but I'm having a date of next month. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Neera. So first, regarding your PTE results. So if you're looking for admission in a diploma of nursing, the requirement is 7 in each in English. If you can't get in one sitting, you can get the score in 2 sittings, and we can combine the both tests together. So that will work. As far as conditional offer letter is concerned, diploma of nursing seats are very, they're not available. We are full even up to April. I'm talking about Adelaide only. So for up to April 2023, the colleges don't have any seats. Only seats available sometimes are like if somebody cancel the seat. So in that case, if you have conditional offer letter, it is very difficult to get the seat, because seat becomes available only for a day or two, and anybody who already have 7 each in English, they will give seat to that person. If you have studied here for 3.5 years in Australia and completed 3.5 years of study, in that case, you do not need to give IELTS or PTE result, considering you have studied continuously. I give you one example. For example, you have done 2 years of master's degree, and then after that you have done 1.5 or 2 years of community services diploma together without having much gap. In that case, you do not need any English test. Now, your second question is that what was the second question?
Diploma of non-community service she's doing from non-accredited. So she's saying that is there any risk or anything because her visa
No,
is
there is no risk, but the thing is, if you're asking that if you can study to some accredited college now and if you can get credit or not, that we have to check with the college, because whichever college you apply, they will match all the units and all, and the college is the they are the one to tell you how many credits you can get. And if you want to apply for diploma of nursing, so that is not that big a challenge, because a lot of people do a diploma of nursing after community services, and a lot of people do community services after diploma of nursing also. So that is not going to be a huge challenge.
So talking about your visa expiry, you will be fine. Even if we can apply for your new visa, and I will strongly recommend that you visit our office if you are in Adelaide and see me. You can see me. My name is Tej. You can anytime come and see me, and then you can come and we can discuss more about how we can take it from there. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to say, Elite College, they told me they will be able to give me 40% exemptions, but I'm afraid, would the immigration create any issues? Like you've already studied community service, now you're going in an accredited one, or it really depends on the, letter of intent that we submit to them, or you personally advise to just go for nursing?
So see, you visit us once.
For that year, we have to work on a statement of purpose, and then we have to give the reasons for the immigration. That's why you want to do that course. So definitely we can't tell them that you are doing for getting a PR. So we have the reasons. We have to make statement of purpose. That is basically a student visa thing. So if you can email us or call us, then we can discuss that. But I don't see any big issue with that.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll be back to Sydney. I probably have to go in the Sydney campus. I'm overseas at the moment because the college is still online. So I'm coming back in 2 weeks. So probably I'll go to your Sydney campus, or I'm happy to talk to you. What's your name again?
I'm Rupinder, but I'm in Adelaide. So if you go to Sydney office, you may not see me. You may see Mr. Usman there.
Okay, all right.
or else you can give us call.
Or give us a call.
Yeah, or else you can give us a call and we can take it from there. So the number is already on screen. You can see. So you can call there and you can book an appointment with Rupinder or myself, Paige. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much, Hira. And the next is Dennis. So Dennis, please unmute yourself. How are you doing today?
I am well, thank you. My question is really quick. So for community services, how about I recently got a job as a home care worker for aged care. So it's just like a support worker. So can that also be accepted as to be of service to the community, or it cannot be accepted as an occupation?
Hi, Dennis.
As a-
If you're working as
as
an
a
age
care worker, yeah.
then you may have problem to get skill assessment done. Rather than age care worker, if you are working as age case manager or something, or there are few occupations actually which mentioned in the list. So you can try for that pathway because for age care worker the minimum requirement is only certificate 3. And this
Yeah.
the occupations which we are talking about, their minimum qualification is a diploma.
Okay. Okay.
Some people have been lucky in the past, it's a very trial thing, but if I would suggest look for better suited occupation.
Better suited. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. So next I'll go with the chat messages. Neeraj, is Neeraj available here? Okay, I think he's not available, but he has one question that can someone from overseas with a gap of 11 years from 12th standard be eligible?
Okay, Neeraj. So I don't know what you mean by 11 years gap. If you're not doing anything for 11 years, then it is very difficult. But if you have been working for those 11 years and you have evidences that you worked for those 11 years, then we can work on that. Then it's not a big issue. But if you have not done anything in 11 years, then it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, thank you so much. So next is Anita. Anita, do you want to ask something? Please go ahead.
Hi. My question is, I'm studying community service in Melbourne, and it's not an accredited college, and I will finish in this month, in August. So it's good to do a bachelor of community service in Adelaide or in Tasmania.
Hi Anita, I would always suggest go for South Australia because South Australia's rules are very much lenient, and I've been working here as a migration agent for last 6 years, and their rules are always very straightforward and easy. So all you need to do here is to meet the requirements of the state. For example, if you have studied here, there are different pathways here actually. There, for example, SA graduate pathway, then working in SA pathway, and then working in regional area pathway, and then long-term resident pathway. So if you are going to study here, I don't see any reason, for not getting the invitation. And there are at least 3 colleges here who are providing this course, and you can get credits also. I don't know how many credits you can get because we have to see the transcript of your previous diploma studies, and then college decide how many credits you can get. But definitely I would suggest everything, not because I'm here, but because I've been doing these applications for a long time, so I know.
Okay. So for Bachelor of Communities, when I will do in South Australia, then it's be better that I don't need to do any experience, like no need to work in that field.
For skill assessment, no.
Yeah.
And for South Australia, as per the last financial year rules, if like for example, you finished your bachelor degree here, and
Yes.
during that time, if you're working as 1 year as aged care worker or community worker or something, that is acceptable.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Otherwise, 3 months work experience at least
Mhm.
in related occupation after you finish your studies. So we don't have to confuse here. There are two things. One is when, because just recently another guy asked the question about aged care work experience. For skill assessment, aged care worker experience is not going to work. But state nomination, aged care worker experience is fine. So if you are studying accredited college, then aged care work experience is perfect. But if you are not studying in accredited college, then 1 year of or 2 year of aged care work experience may not work.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All good. Thank you so much, Anita, for joining us. So any further question from anyone else, or else we will wrap up this session quickly.
Sorry, can I ask one question here? Last question.
Yeah, so sure. Who's
Yeah,
this?
Jagdish Bista.
Yes, Jagdish Bishra.
Yeah, this like in a welfare worker is like what kind of work is that? Like
So welfare worker work what
it's
kind of
more about working in a social work, something like that.
it's working with for the community basically.
Not exactly social work, because social work assessing body is different.
Oh, okay.
Welfare worker, like what we can do is we can help you with the job duties. We can send you the answer code and job duties. So
Oh,
you can have a look.
okay.
Or else if you are in Adelaide, do visit us. We are here from 9:30 to 5, available Monday to Friday, and also on Saturdays we are available. So you can visit us, and our one of the best counselor can help you out with
Yeah,
the
thank you. Yeah,
requirement.
and for this, we don't need IS band 7 for skill assessment, right? After bachelor's for skill assessment.
If you have done accredited college,
Yeah,
then then if you have done bachelor degree, so you have what you have done before, bachelor degree or master's degree?
bachelor's. I'm currently in bachelor's.
Bachelor degree, okay. You still need, if you finish a bachelor degree here,
Yeah.
then you do not need 7 years.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jagdish.
So I think no more questions from anyone. So we will quickly wrap the session. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. And please visit our nearest office if you have any doubts, like nearest any locations. We are in Adelaide, Melbourne, Reservoir, Sydney, and also in India. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks
Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
For joining.